How is it going, guys? So this has become my catchphrase now, I guess. I didn't even intend to do it, but now I have to keep doing it because people start calling it out. So let's look at this market. It was very interesting today. We got like the chop up and kind of speed up into the that 30 70 level, which was interesting just from because that's basically like where we were, like we've had battles before, and here, like it was fighting it all day today, and then it got over, and that was the last push, and then it failed. So I was just scalping around this. I'm really like what I'm focusing in the next 3 months. What I'm focusing on is getting that overnight scalping strategy like to a sample size of where I can, honestly say that I'm able to scale up, because that would allow me to, perhaps not be around for the open and only be around for the last 2 hours of the day and trade like that, because I think for me down here in New Zealand that would make more sense. So yeah, the next 2 3 months that's going to be my main focus, and I'm going to call out like stocks for you as well, but just know that I am going to try and focus more on ES, and that's why you also see me ask more questions to Addicted in chat, because he's the master of this stuff, and I am just trying to, I mean, I have a grasp on the strategy, and I have a grasp on the Eris system, and I've been trading it successfully, but I'm really trying to get, like now the details in, and that's something that I want you guys to, like I'm also trying to be an example for you guys. I am not afraid to ask questions in chat when I have something that I know someone like Addicted, who is the master of this, is going to have, like it's going to be able to answer for me and help me with my learning process. So you guys should do that too. Like as I said yesterday, like you have any question about options, like mechanics, how options work, option like which option to choose, theta, delta, all of these things, that's me. You have questions about fundamentals, that's Nikki. You have questions about ES, that's Addicted. So from that point of view, let's just look at the market. Honestly, we closed back under that 200. It's now the second inside day in a row. We are coiling, and honestly, at the moment, it looks like we are looking at more downside. Perhaps like a bit slower. Maybe like maybe this is the start the start of a bear market. I mean, this I'm not saying it because of this. It's just because it looks like we are not rebounding as fast as we did back here. But on the other hand, like you looked at, we dropped those 250 points here, and we had like a quick drop as well. But what's different here is that it made it back into the lower Celt and only did like the 14 MA rejection, and then it caught itself quickly before it went back up. And here we are not even close, like we are under the 200. We are not even close to touching the 14 yet. It was just such a steep sell off that it feels different than this stuff here. So we will see what happens. Um, but yeah, I don't think we are going to see new highs anytime soon. All right, now, then the other thing that I want to look at in the futures market is gold, because this got back over the upper Celt, and here, honestly, I missed this one. I had lightened up on all my positions up here. I had just very very few like core positions in GLD, where I hold a bit of stock, because I'm holding this for like longer term, and my NG position, which I did not change anything, but I had sold a few calls up here, which I covered into this. But looking at how fast this recovered, I am going to be very closely watching this tomorrow. If this holds, this upper Celt. Say, like we open over, like we open somewhere in that, like 1670, 60 area. I would absolutely watch for a dip into the upper Celt. Um, to get like a momentum long into 1700. That's not going to be a large position because I wasn't able to buy, like the actual dip. This is just a uppercut long kind of strategy with the momentum. But that's definitely something I'll be looking at here, and I'll probably be trading either GC or depending, perhaps gold option, GLD options. I'll see what I feel, which is what like there's other metrics like time decay and stuff like that that I'll be looking into. But yeah, like that's something to look at for you guys tomorrow. It's sad though. Like I would have wanted to, like build a new position, um, like a proper new position in that 1600 area for like the next leg up, which would then bring us into that 1733 kind of level. If you look at the weekly as well, like we are close to this 1733, 35, and like this 1800 level, which is like looking at how this goes is like the next target in my opinion for that up move. And looks like, with the uncertainty with the coronavirus and stuff, this is going to happen sooner than later. So, yeah, just this is going to be a momentum trade for me, nothing big. Okay, now let's look at the VIX real quick. That's another thing that kind of makes me feel like I'm still bearish on this because looking at how this, like held. I mean, I'm not looking at the Celts here. I'm just looking at that this is has more than stayed bid in the last few days, and I've mentioned it yesterday. And now, honestly, like if we keep selling off, I'm not sure. I mean, like for this to go much higher, we are gonna have to get more um, like violent action. If it's just going to trickle down at some point, the VIX volatility is going to even out again. But for now, um, you know, you see it in VVIX as well. Like it's just it's staying bid. So that means risk is not off. People are still, like fear is still in the market, and to me that is a bearish sign. Right, let's look at a few individual stocks. A lot of them have, yeah, like again, like the similar setups because a lot of stuff is obviously correlated. And might sound like I'm repeating myself, but just it's just the stuff that stuck out to me. So Apple, as I mentioned yesterday, it now showed that this was that 14 MA touch, and it sold off again today. So what I'm looking for is definitely a open underneath this middle Celt here on the 4-hour, perhaps even a gap down and open underneath the lower Celt. If we would open underneath the lower Celt on the daily, what I would be looking for is a quick spike up into the lower Celt, say into that 280, 290 area. I would take a short there. As soon as it starts showing some topping action, then you can short this all the way down again here, or just like at least 270, 275 kind of area for sure. When you look at here, we've had like a bit of an area here, so 267. You had some here. I'm looking over here. We had some basing here. Like this is another area. So that's very rudimentary, very rough that I just drew those. But and see like we had like another area here, 289. So a gap under 289, I would look for a spike into 289 and then a fail there. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing at Apple. Autodesk, kind of similar, as I said. I guess I don't have to say it anymore. This one tried to get to the 14 and failed the lower Celt. Now, what I'm seeing here is, like this flag pattern that that we're seeing everywhere. a open underneath 183 would definitely, give me some confidence in the short. And if we close the daily on breaking this flag trend line, then I could definitely see a retest of that 175. And after, like, if 175 breaks, the this 170, 171 level is probably the last defense until the 200 SMA and lower 165 kind of area. BA, boy, here you see, like, I mean, I don't know if this is just a confirmation of technicals as well. It's definitely like there's been fundamentally lots of things wrong with this stock, but it's just amazing to see. Like it breaks that last resort level at 292.50, comes back 2 days later, tests it, fails, and now it's just off. And look at the volume today. So I'm not sure, like it's already in this kind of area here. We break lower there. Like then probably like this 245 kind of area would probably be the next larger target. We have like a bit of support here in the 253 area. But I mean, I'm not saying short this here after a move like this, but any bounce we get into the lower Celt, we are still waiting for the first 14 MA test. So that is definitely something that can be shorted. This one is a big one to watch for me. As soon as we get like some kind of setup, I will be all over this. Beyond, simple, gap down on earnings, retraced into the lower Celt, failed below. If we open under the lower Celts tomorrow, I'll be looking for a spike, just some kind of morning spike, and then the short back into that 85 kind of area, or perhaps like first target to be conservative, make it 90. But yeah, this looks like that second bounce was stopped in its track by the coronavirus. Clorox. Now this is an interesting one. It's an unusual one. It's a long idea, and the only thing like why this is. I mean, there's fundamental reasons, because they make Lysol and they make like they make toilet paper, and apparently everyone is hoarding toilet paper right now. So this one is fundamentally has a reason to be up, and now is offering us an entry with this close over the upper Celt. So tomorrow, if we open over and we manage to hold, say like have like a 30-minute hold over that upper Celt on the daily, I would take this long for a move into 180, because they seem to be doing good business, and people are obviously buying it up because of that. So that's the long idea, the Corona stock that I would be looking at if you want to trade a coronavirus. Costco. There's no trade set up here for me right now, but I just wanted to mention how quite perfectly this played out. How I mentioned it yesterday. So it opens lower. It closes over that 14 MA, closes over the middle Celt, as I mentioned yesterday. So you closed a fair bit lower, probably more like further lower than I would have been comfortable with. But we dip lower, just real quick, and then we run all the way up into the upper Celt, like all the way into this resistance, like the all-time highs. And from there, we fail all the way back down. And that's exactly, like how you can trade these. You get into the upper Celt. If you're long, from either from the open or from when we got over here yesterday or something like that, then that's your profit taking spot. Also, look at that, like this intraday is like the perfect example. Like we get into these highs and we got like a huge volume bar, like everyone is selling out now, or like people are panic buying, FOMO buying the highs. They're anticipating the highs, the breakout, and doesn't come. Everyone, like the smart money is selling into the dumb money buying that, and then it fails and comes all the way back. So now I don't know I'll be watching this, but I don't have like a trade here right now. Oh, there's earnings as well today, so that's going to be interesting. What this Costco is doing. Seems like retail is doing quite okay. I saw Walmart is up as well. Hey, see what it does, but definitely very interesting. Cree. The only reason options are getting really wide on overnight, so I'm not sure whether this one has tradable options. But what I'm just bringing up is because this is had popped up on my 14 moving average hold close over 14 moving average kind of scan. So hopefully this is not too late, and hopefully the options are tradable, but this could be a nice, like short trade up into a long into the 30 MA, just the 1430 kind of trading strategy. Into it, let me see. That one is the same thing as like Apple or stuff like that. The first 14 MA test. I think it actually closed over, if I'm not mistaken, but it's so close, and we actually went all the way to the middle celt, and we didn't hold. So if we open tomorrow under this 14 MA, you could short this all the way down into the lower celt as well. Again, Juniper, this one also, like breaking some significant levels from like long-term support, and has now done the same thing, tested the lower celt, tried to close over, opened back below, and is now heading lower again. So if we get like a pop tomorrow off the open, same as always, or with the other stocks, short the pop, and like hold that for a few days, or perhaps depending on what, like if we get a panic tomorrow, you might get your target, like 100, 200, 300% in one day, but you'll see. LK, I am still long this. This held okay today. LK held okay. Um, I was considering, like putting out an order for those highs, because that's what I mentioned yesterday as well. But I was just, it's a very small position, and I'm already green on it. And if I lose, I'm not losing much. So I'm going to hold this and see if this manages to get higher. And depending on where we open up tomorrow, I'm just going to take the profits and run. But I'm trying to be patient with this one. But compared to the market, this is holding quite well. We also had like that bullish cross, which today it tested the 14 MA for the first time, which first test is always a long setup, or always. It's just a very high probability thing, which was here. It would have been a beautiful intraday long into the upper celt. Microsoft, same as others, like obviously a lot of it is correlated to the market, but I'm bringing this one up anyway because I like this candle. Try to get over, open below, try to get over, closed below. So this is another, just a short idea. See where we open tomorrow. That 165 kind of level, 165.50 level is definitely interesting, and take it from there. Netflix. So I took this one long off the open today, just a small call spread, and when we failed here, I took my profits. Was a very small trade, was very small gain, but hey, green is green. Now with this fail back under, I am gonna be watching, perhaps if we open under the middle celt tomorrow, spike into the middle celt, then short it down to the lower celt, because I'm just, based on my general bearish stance on the market, I would probably short this one as well. Roku, that's the last one actually. I'm not gonna look at UVXY. That's a remnant from last week. Roku is just the basic support break here, after we've managed to, or we couldn't manage to close over the lower celt here. This is late. Like this is a late entry, and if you take that break off that 105.50, then make sure you make it a momentum trade. Like first, momentum trades are smaller size, and second, you're out quicker, right? So would actually also look at the 105 level itself. The 105.50, 105, those levels, once they break, you could probably get like $5 out of it into the 100 level. And looking at Roku's range, that would be, like today we've had $4.40 range. The ATR is 730. So say we have like if we speed up a bit tomorrow in the market as well, this could be a nice momentum short into that 100 level tomorrow. Yeah, that's it, guys. It's been fun. I guess I'll plug our channel again. If you like the channel, if you like what we're doing, please subscribe. I mean, do I really have to tell you anymore? If you're new, I'm sorry for being grumpy sometimes. I know I can be, but that's just me. I'm having, like, despite not making as much money as I should have, because I'm making mistakes just like everyone else. I'm making mistakes. That which makes me grumpy. I'm actually having quite a lot of fun at the moment. Like when we have volatility like this, it's great. So if you want to join us in the fun, join our Discord. The link is in the description. Please like, please subscribe, please hit the notification bell. Please comment if you want to see something else, or if you have like an idea of what else we could do, or just if you want to tell me that I'm doing a good or a bad job, please do that as well. And I guess I'll see you guys at the open again for Friday Fun Day. Could be interesting. All right, guys, have a good one.